talking to you inside the vehicle. I could go outside, and maybe I will. I wanted to make content no matter what. I don't know if I want to wander the streets. I'll get wet. So what I'll do is wander underneath the tree canopy, and that way maybe not get as wet. It's not like it's coming down really hard out there. It's not bad at all. I think it's just the right amount of rain, just a little tiny bit of rain. Enough drizzle and cloud cover to make everything sort of spooky looking. Ooh. See, look down that path. If it was a bright sunny day, you'd be like, oh, isn't that lovely? So aesthetically pleasing. But it's a gloomy and cloudy, wet day. It almost makes you think, it's the kind of day, what if something were to come down through that path, just sitting here, talking to you, and then all of a sudden, some unearthly, mad thing from the abyss of your nightmares comes skulking down the path up there. What would you like to see come down the path that would mess with your sanity? Scary clown? That's what a lot of people are into. I'm not really into scary clown. Maybe like a bear? Some people would be afraid of wildlife. Maybe, what if the dog man came out of there? Wouldn't that be interesting? The Michigan dog man. So why don't we make a topic today about the legends of your nightmares. Well, it's not so bad out here. Nothing to worry about as far as the weather goes. I feel like this has definitely got like Friday the 13th type vibes to it. This June is the only Friday the 13th of 2025. Also, canonically, Jason Voorhees' birthday is on June 13th. It's a birthday, Friday the 13th. Happy birthday, Jason. Have fun knifing people. Have fun with your machete. Now what I'll do is I'll invent urban legends off the top of my head. These are free to use, by the way. Make it into a creepypasta if you want. Tell people what's real. Have some fun with it. Why not? First, we got to think, what does an urban legend need? It needs potentially plausible basis, at least in why it started. Next, it needs to have something that makes it seem like it could happen to you. Of course, I've tried to make this seem like this is all scary, but actually it's just a very pleasant day. Just me and the deer. And we're all just frolicking in the wood. So first off, plausible thing. We'll use what we have right here, right now. Personal. Guy goes to the park on a windy day. Tree branch falls out and obliterates their skull. It's all over the news. Oh, be careful about going into the park when it's windy. A tree branch might fall on you. So now they say if you go to a certain part of the park on a windy day, when the sky is gray and the wind even comes from a certain direction, you might find somebody in the woods who will warn you about the potential of a branch falling on you. And you acknowledge them as just maybe paranoid and slightly over-concerned rando. And you look back and they're gone. You think, well, that's kind of weird. Where'd they go? Then later at the visitor center, where they have little pamphlets about nature stuff and maps of the trails, you see a plaque commemorating the person who had their head crushed by a branch, by a tree branch. And you realize that's who you saw in the woods. Of course, a variation would be, if you want it to be more Bloody Mary Hanukkah-san like, if you go to an old rickety tree, you'll know the one. It's the oldest tree, the gnarliest tree, the scariest tree. Pick up a nice sturdy stick and knock on the tree 6 times. And then ray of the smashed head will get ya. Now here's another one that I heard, and this one's true, that there used to be, right here in the Delta Mills Park, an old road that used to run towards the river years and years ago. And this is before this is a park. This is back when this was farmland, decades and decades ago. Just woods and farmland and nothing. Before they built any of the suburbs that are next to it. And this old road went to this guy's house, his private drive, and heard tell terrible things about that guy, like migrant workers and other kinds of people who'd want to work at his farm. Lure them in with some food, lure them in with, a day's work, and you'll get a little bit of money. People are into it, of course, And then, while they go to the river and kind of wash off the day's sweat from working so hard in the field, what he'd do is he'd be following you very, very quietly out into the woods as you get towards the river. And then he would wait till you're submerging, washing off the sweat off of your face, and then bam, rock to the skull. That's what I heard. It's very, very difficult to ever get any information about this. There's a reason why they made this into a park and why they put the suburbs out there. Because they don't want you to know. You can still see little bits of his pavement on one of the trails. I'm going to show you something. This right here. That's concrete. How did just a random piece of a man-made material, a random piece of concrete, get in that? Why is that there? Here's some more of it. Some more of the concrete. Rocks, pebbles, stones, dirt path, roots. But then right here, random piece of concrete. Why is that there? There's another piece right here. Don't take this out of the ground, by the way. Leave it where it's at. Don't try to take these out of the ground, because we need to preserve the history of this. People have already tried to wipe it from the history books because they were afraid that folks might know the truth of old Zebidiah and how he would drown people out by the river. The path goes right through what used to be his property and his private drive. But I got one more for you. One more. Here, talk about a YouTuber who goes around filming random things as he rambles on to the camera. And he leaves these enchanted paper dolls. He calls them shikigami. And he'll leave them around on park benches, on signs, in books. And if you find one of these paper dolls, bring it back to your house. You might start thinking different. You might start realizing things that you never realized before. You might start knowing things that there's no earthly reason why you should know those things. And they say if the paper doll doesn't like the place that you put it, it'll move around your house until it finds a place that it wants to be.